Hello my friends, some people ask for the evidence of the kaput of the Russian Sukhoi 34 fighters bombers. I told you about it a couple of days ago, and definitely we now have the confirmation satellite images. Yeah, Russia took the wreckage out. However, we have the data from the infrared cameras that definitely something was at those parking stands. Russia officially is not confirming the loss of their Sukhoi 34, but Russian military bloggers also affiliated with the Russian Air Force, like for example, fighter bomber. He wrote and reposted the same image saying that no comments, yeah, we definitely lost the airplanes. And there was extra information about the damage of two more Sukhoi 34, however now it's hard to say without the evidence from the ground, but Russia is against posting those images. It is understandable that probably will not gonna get those. The detonation was crazy, even some holes in the apron, so airplanes probably were getting ready to fly to Ukraine. They had some of the bombs. Well, it's just my assumption. Plus, yeah, we have the confirmation not just from Ukrainian officials, but also from the Russian ones. Not officials again, but we have the statement of the Russian Z bloggers who know what they're talking about, that they definitely lost the airplanes. Yeah, sadly guys, but today we also have bad news. Ukrainian Air Force lost one more pilot of F-16 aircraft. Pilot's name was Maxim Ustimenko. He flown, I guess, MiG-29 before. Later on he trained on F-16. It is kind of hard to tell what happened to his airplane the last night, but definitely it was the huge attack of the Russian cruise missiles, Shahed drones on Ukraine. That's why F-16s are used to hit all of those targets, but something happened. Could be Ukrainian air defense, friendly fire, could be some of the debris coming from the drones after impact of missile, which might hit the airplane. It already happened before with MiG-29 and Karaya pilot, who ejected and saved his life. It could be also malfunction, pilot error, everything. But because it's military, probably we'll never know the cause. In commercial aviation, everything is public. Here, everything is hidden. So totally, Ukraine lost 4 of F-16s, and just one was hit by Russian air defense. So Ukraine is definitely losing many of F-16s, and they are not being deployed right at the front line. They are not fighting directly against the Russian airplanes, fighter jets, like for example Sukhoi 30, Sukhoi 35. So I hope Ukrainian military command analyzes the specific cases, aviation accidents, the cases with the friendly fire. I'm sure that at least in the first case it was a friendly fire from the Patriot system. Now it is kind of hard to tell, but also could be the reason. It basically shows that there should be reforms in Ukrainian army. I'm speaking about it for a very, very long time. The situations like that are not okay, and the reason for it, yeah, as I say to you, it is unknown. Yeah, that's the picture from yesterday. Many of the drones went to the western side of Ukraine. Russia also launched Kinzhal missiles, hypersonic missiles, plus cruise missiles. About Shaheds, there were roughly 400 of those launched, and the Ukrainian air defense, well, I would say it's not that effective as it was before. Because first of all, Ukraine tries to save munition for Patriot systems, NASAMS, IRIS-T. Second reason that Russia is using new sophisticated Shahed drones sometimes, and also a new tactics where they launch those drones from the very high altitude. Sometimes Ukraine is also using helicopters, but it also depends on the altitude the Shahed drone is flying. I would say that the perspective way to shut down Shahed drones is to use FPV drones, because they may fly really high. So yeah, this drone was shut down from the helicopter. There was just a guy with a machine gun. They opened the door, opened the fire, and this drone went down. Awesome. Guess we have some of the good news about the possible implementations of the new sanctions on Russia and some of the companies which continue to work with Russian fossil fuels. You probably know Senator Lindsey Graham. He's in the MAGA camp, I would say, but he also understands why Ukraine fights. Well, Graham is actually a piece of but sometimes he is doing right things, occasionally. So this initiative to implement new sanctions has huge support in Senate. 84 of senators are already willing to vote for it, which means that only 16 not willing to vote for it or opposing. I'm also sure that if Donald Trump gives the green light, this project will be voted in-house. And yeah, that law project is out there for already a very long time, at least 3 months, but Lindsey Graham played with Donald Trump recently, and after the game he went to the interview. This video is 1 minute long. I propose to listen to it. Moreover, I'll expedite the video.
Now, I want to ask you about Russia, because you're pushing this bill to impose severe new sanctions on Russia. Have you gotten Trump on board?
Big breakthrough here. So what does this bill do? If you're buying products from Russia and you're not helping Ukraine, then there's a 500% tariff on your products coming to the United States. India and China buy 70% of Putin's oil. They keep his war machine going. My bill has 84 co-sponsors. It would allow the president to put tariffs on China and India and other countries to get them, stop them from supporting Putin's war machine to get him to the table. For the first time yesterday, the president told me.
You were playing golf with him?
Yeah, I was playing golf with him. He says, it's time to move your bill. There's a waiver in the bill, Mr. President. You're in charge of whether or not it's to be implemented. But we're going to give President Trump a tool in the toolbox he doesn't have today. After the July break, we're going to pass a bill that would allow the president. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. But he has a waiver. It's up to him how to impose it. But we're trying to get Putin to the table.
He said after the vacation, it means that it could be July the 7th, the closest period time for Senate to vote for the project if Donald Trump really gives the green light. But yeah, it seems like Donny is ready to walk that way, according to Lindsey Graham. At least he says like that. Plus, there is something new which he said, like if the country supports Ukraine with military, sanctions will not be implemented on the country. So it gives like the variant for the European countries to continue to purchase Russian fossil fuels if they at the same time support Ukrainian military. From what I understood, China doesn't do it. India may say that they supplied some of the artillery shells, but they are trying to hide it. Well, guys, in general, those are the good news. We'll see how it goes. I hope for July the 7th. No one would say you how it will be, because before, a few days ago, Marco Rubio mentioned that the United States is not going to apply new sanctions on Russia or secondary sanctions. We have two contradicting opinions from Trump's team, but after all, it's up to Donny himself. So you see how you can change the opinion of Donny. Just play golf with him, because he spends lots of the time playing golf. Roughly 1 out of 5 months he is a president of the United States, he played golf. 4 months busy promising to solve everything in 2 weeks. And bombing Iran, yeah.
You know, but no big deal. We have a buyer for TikTok, by the way. I think I'll need probably China approval, and I think President Xi will probably do it.
Who's the buyer?
I'll tell you in about 2 weeks.
A big technology company.
He's laughing himself. I'll tell you in 2 weeks. Yeah, Trump is still looking for the buyer for TikTok. He said he got it, but we'll see. The Washington Post also published the article referring Senator Graham and his idea to implement more sanctions. They say that there could be some of the underwater stones, which we do not see right now, and Trump tried actually to ease this project, the law project that Lindsey Graham and other senators presented. So we'll check out the final variant, I guess, in roughly 8 days. Guys, here I want to share my thanks to Patreon supporters and members of the channel. Guys, you're keeping me running, updating almost every day. Thank you so much for it. You're the best. So if you want to support the job that I do here as well, you may check out the link for my Patreon page right in the video description below. If you don't have that opportunity, just press your huge like to the video and subscribe for the channel, because that is how you also help me to boost this video in YouTube algorithms. Thank you so much for it. Try to understand what do they celebrate. I'll switch off the volume. This is Katyusha, a Russian rocket artillery, Soviet rocket artillery system. And they launched some of the fireworks from it. And that's how Russia celebrates a student day. Freaking student day. They have total militarization. Also, they have some of the, I guess, artillery systems, artillery cannons. Yeah, the students, they went completely wrong. They don't need students, actually. They need military men. Alright, Lavrov say that Macron and Merz are totally insane. They want to return to the old times that there was the Nazi Germany, but now they're united and they're the same Nazis in Ukraine. They're helping Nazis, so the rhetorics from the Russian Federation, it has absolutely no changes. Yeah, Putin stated that they want to reduce the spendings for the military, but he just said it. It doesn't mean that they will do it, my friends. And even if they do it, it also doesn't mean that Russia is going to stop this war. They're now mostly focused to strike Ukraine civilian infrastructure, for example, with Shahed drones. They understand that they're scrolling on the front lines. Mostly their offensive was stopped, and especially Sumy operation was complete failure for Russia. Not, I would say, 100% failure. After all, they occupied some of the villages, but it was the same mistake as they've done 2 years ago, attacking Kharkiv region from the north. I guess I've told you even before the start of that Sumy operation from Russia that it will be the same as in Kharkiv. So I guess those dinosaurs are in the Russian management. They are the Russian elite surrounding the main KGB scumbag Putin, and they're not willing to stop. And this main dinosaur, he completely lost his mind. There was some sort of the life with the Russian juniors, the students from, again, we say military uniform. So here Putin encouraged students to work. He said that then he was a student, he earned quite a lot of money, even enough to buy Zhiguli in half a year. Yeah, what you study, we don't care, you need to work, like to boost the Russian economy in one or other way. No one thinks ahead that they need smart students, no. Separately, he greeted young men who are out there in special military operation. Young people like you, he said. So in a way, he also encouraged them to sign the contract with the Russian army. Everyone should go to the Russian army voluntarily. He said those who go for the special military operation show their love to their fatherland or motherland. They're like example for the other people, especially young people. Who the hell is this? A Russian student? Well, it's just a Russian volunteer. They signed a contract with the Russian army, and after they got some of the experience in real fight, they refused to continue their contract. That's why they were imprisoned in the local prison camp. Some of them refused to fight because they obtained wounds. Like, for example, this guy, he has no leg. The guy is unable to walk, and they're keeping him here in the prison, trying to force him to go to the front lines again. Oh my god. Okay, your arm or whatever, it doesn't matter. The guy is there without a leg. Oh, that's crazy. They say they have no water. He said they pee into this bucket and no one takes it out because they're locked. Yeah, they're locked there because they probably refuse to fight. Yeah, if with those kind of the wounds, I would refuse as well. Yeah, somehow they got one smartphone with internet access and they filmed this sort of the video. Ooh, Russian army, it is crazy. The situation, then you don't have donkeys. Yeah, you need to take everything on your own. This is the supply delivery in the Russian army. Put the rifle on. Here you have extra water probably, or maybe gasoline. This guy with a bike is even lucky. You know, guys, there's the old propaganda placard from the Nazi Germany. They show Soviet soldiers, or Russian soldiers, who are going to Germany and will perform some of the war crimes against civilians. Yeah, I cannot show you this image fully because it's the gore image, but just look at this person. It looks like the guy from that propaganda poster was found. Just look. The same face. This is one more Russian soldier filming his colleague. 100% the same guy from the portrait. Germans were right. Actually. Entertainment or what? What is this? A mental disease center or what? You were wounded on the front lines? Okay, we're gonna also hurt your brain with our creepy, crazy songs. He just sang like, our Ivan will stand for the motherland. Ivan. Yeah, despite outstanding entertainment, those Ivans are not happy at all. Oh, this picture was taken by Ukrainian soldiers. Those are two Kenyan mercenaries who were fighting for the Russian army. Luckily for them, they were imprisoned by Ukrainian army. They're now in a prison camp of Ukraine. As you can see, kind of the good environment they have there. Nature, this guy, I'm sure, has a proper medical care. Again, it was their best decision to surrender. One more Russian soldier who thought that his contract with the Russian army is over, again in a jail, refusing to fight to go back because of the wounds. Then it's very often that the Russian officers just zero their soldiers who obtain severe wounds, who are not willing to continue, who are disobeying orders, and so on. So we have all this data coming live from Russians themselves. This guy showed here that he has some of the X-rays. You can see, yeah, the broken bones here. Broken shoulder, yeah, he cannot move his arm like this, but he was imprisoned. And Russia wants to send him back to fight. Probably he's like ex-prisoner of Russia who signed a contract and was released from the Russian prison. But Russia doesn't need those guys back. They need to kaput them zero on the front lines. Guys, then I say that Russians are crazy barbarians, I definitely mean it. So they looted some of the kids' bicycle in a town or village they were able to destroy, and that is how they call it liberation. It's like, you know, Golden Horde. They just go, they loot, they rape, they zero everyone, they grab and take. That's the philosophy of this Russian army. No change since Middle Ages, since Second World War. Everything is the same, as you may see. Drill, baby, drill. This is probably a Russian church or the corner of memory, maybe even in some of the local school. And here's the Russian Orthodox priest with some of the foam, probably not made in Russia, is drilling more holes for more Russian heroes. Yeah, you understand what happened to them all. Alright guys, should I move my image? You see some sort of the beard of the warrior of TikTok army Ahmad, who was stopped by the Russian military police for the routine check. What those Highlanders did, they called for backup. People came on Land Cruisers, I guess, or something. They wanted to fight with the representative of the military police. What is happening is absolute crazy, guys. There is the internal some of the beef is happening. The camera is shaking, body camera. Well, they beaten this guy kind of hard, actually. Just look at those guys from the Ahmad army. Spetsnaz is not even close. They are the main force out there. That's what they tell about themselves. Well, I support both of the sides. Let's make it a whole mess between the Russian police and Ahmad out there in Russia. It could spark lots of the stuff. Continue, Russians and Ahmads. Continue. Adam Kadurov, a son of Ramzan Kadyrov, the leader of Chechnya. Adam just turned 17 years old and he decided to marry some sort of the girl out there in Chechnya. I think that marrying in 17, according to the Russian law, is illegal, but who cares? Reportedly, Putin even congratulated Adam. I'm a guy in a green Geländewagen with a gun and expensive watch. The watch is really expensive, actually. Yeah, he fired actually in this video. I will not show it to you here, but it's the usual tradition. He was spotted multiple of the times wearing those watches, and this is the price of those. So it's Jacob & Co. $7 freaking million. $7 million. Swiss made, by the way. Can I click to buy? 7 million. Oh my god. 7 million for watches, and it's not the only son of Ramzan Kadyrov, so just imagine how much money is there. The money which were taken from people of Chechnya, people of Russia, dark scheme, selling lots of the stuff. I mean, weapons and substances, that's huge. Adam might even shadow Jeffrey's Bezos wedding, which happened recently, a couple of days ago. Yeah, obviously Jeffrey has more money, but for the ceremony spending, I'm not sure who spent more. Guys, remember the case with the Ukrainian prisoner of war who was exchanged, and here's his car, Slava Russia. I get some of the comments from people saying that it is fake, it is not real, the image is fake. Well, we have the full interview with our guy who was exchanged.
That I was done for. While they were carrying me, I kept asking them.
So yeah, we have the English version dubbed. It's on United 24 channel. Just put in YouTube search United 24, and maybe I'm gonna put the link for this video in particular because I want you guys to realize what is happening out there in Russia, how they behave towards Ukrainian soldiers whom they imprison. I was surprised that Russian doctors did it. So our guy was wounded, there was operation, he saw the scar, it was a mess. I think they done it for purpose, to really make this car as disgusting as possible. And yeah, they use some sort of the surgeon tool to write those letters as the scars on the belly of this guy. It is crazy, guys. It's done by doctors. If doctors could do that stuff, just imagine what Russian soldiers are doing in Ukraine. It is a pure war crime, and I'm happy that they filmed this interview. I already shared it on my Telegram channel. I'll repost it also on X. Guys, it is crazy. And I think that there is no more bottom for Russian army and Russia itself to go down. They go even deeper. And guys, about the front lines, I'm not putting too much attention here because Russia is crawling little by little. They, for the last time, moved towards Malinivka, and that's all what we have for today. So no other updates are available in Sumy region. Ukraine, as I told you, stopped Russian offensive. Well, at least for now, Russia may try to reinforce their brigades and attack Sumy region once again, but it will fail too, and they're reaching this forest. I was telling you that probably Russia will be stopped out there, but they were stopped before. And there is no movement for the last couple of weeks. Well guys, and now please don't forget to press your huge like to this video, also subscribe for the channel. By doing so you help me a lot. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.
Frankly, Canada should be the 51st state.